worldwide design and photography evangelist for Adobe. It's my pleasure to be streaming to you live today on InDesign Tuesday. So is that ANSI Media? Hello as well. Victoria, I see you. Thomas, Lee, welcome everyone. Welcome back after hopefully you had a 3-day weekend because of the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday if you're here in the United States. If not, well, happy Tuesday. It's just Tuesday for everybody else. So with that said, this should be a pretty quick one. It's a pretty basic tutorial. We're just going to talk about how to work with InDesign when you don't want to start with a blank page. InDesign has been a page layout tool for the last 20 years, industry standard, great for graphic designers, great for people that do page layout, magazines, newsletters, newspapers, digital publications, just about anything that's more than a few pages. And in the past, if you really wanted to use InDesign, that meant you had to learn it, and not only learn InDesign, but learn how to design from scratch. You had to create from a blank page. You had to do everything, all the layout, all the color selection, all the font choices, all the design elements. And for a lot of people, they're cheering right now. Yeah, that's what we love to do. But for a lot of other people, that's a frightening experience because you're not only having to know the tool, but you're not having to know design and how to work with the tool. And I'm not knocking designers. You guys rock. But there are people that want to do stuff that either can't afford you just now, or they don't have enough design skill to design from scratch. So that's where templates come in. Templates also come in, even if you are a designer, we're maybe getting a fresh perspective or getting an idea of how to do something that you might have not thought about, and then you go make it your own. You go finish the design part of it. So that's what templates are really all about. Now, InDesign has supported a template format since day one, but it was mainly you would have to design a template. In other words, you would design something and then save it as a template, hand that template off to someone else, and every time they opened it, it would open up untitled basically, so that when they save it, they wouldn't be saving over the template that you created. So that still exists to this day, but there are templates now that you don't have to design from scratch that come as a part of your Creative Cloud membership. And that's what we're going to be working with today. All right, so I'm going to switch over to my computer. Now that I'm on my computer in here, I'm going to close out of this so we really start from scratch. Now, when you first open up InDesign, you probably have your, I do it mostly on my own. I don't like it. I love your screen. That's amazing. All right, anyway, but yeah, it's not my design though. But anyway, the welcome screen has the template feature built in, but even if you got past the welcome screen and you're just on a blank InDesign window, program window, you can get to the templates just by saying File, New. Just New Document, Command N, Control N on Windows, and it will take you to this new document window. So in the new document window, the first tab is the Recent tab. So this is recent stuff you have used. Whether it's a recent template you have used, or whether it's a recent, Tom, we no longer have to reinvent the wheel. Whether it's a recent document size you use. So for example, if I scroll down, I'll start to see document sizes. So these are just blank pages that I have created in the past. So for example, I do a lot of my InDesign tutorials on a wide page so that you guys can see it without having to scroll up and down. So I use 11 by 8.5 quite a bit. So that was my most recently used size. 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 11. I must have customized the number of pages. 11 by 17, 11 by 8.5, so forth and so on. So every time you used a custom size, that is also in the recents. But if you move over, there's 3 categories: print, web, and mobile. Now, what is this? What's the difference? Well, print is self-explanatory. I want to make a document that is likely to be printed. So that could be a newsletter, it could be business cards, it could be greeting cards, it could be a resume, it could be a media kit, it could be just about anything. And there are tons of templates here. These are all free for you to use. All you have to do is download them, and you download them right into InDesign. Now, what's web? InDesign is really not for designing web pages. However, InDesign does have a publish online feature up here in the upper right-hand corner. I'll make my cursor big so you can see it. But up there is publish online. So if you're thinking about making a document that will be interactive and maybe have some animations in it and just be in a wide format that's conducive for screens, that's what this is for. So the web is really online, not necessarily web page, even though it is an HTML5 web page, but it is for an online document. And again, these are all ready to go as online documents that you would just go ahead and customize with your own content. Well, then what's mobile? Mobile is, think of ebooks. So if you wanted to make an ebook and export it as an EPUB document, that would be you would start probably with a mobile template. So this could be your novel, it could be your book, it could be your annual report, it could be anything that you wanted to make in an ebook format. And none of these are restricted to their various categories. So you could start with a great design for mobile and still print it. You could start with a great design for web and still turn it into an ebook. So these are just suggested categories for you to start with. I'm going to go to print. And I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to say that let's pick one. We'll grab one from here. I like that pop brochure, but I thought I saw one earlier that I wanted to use. Mobile modern studio book layout. I like that one too. All right, I'm going to scroll. So many good choices. I'm going to scroll all the way back down. I'm going to go with what I just saw just now. If I can find it again. There it is, pop brochure. So you can grab this one with me. You can do this with me. I click on it and I have a choice to see a preview. If I see a preview, that lets me see what it looks like front and back or some of the pages that it has. Now keep in mind, a template won't have all of this content. It won't have these pictures. So if you like it because of the picture, you're going to be disappointed. It's really you like it because of the layout. You like it because of the design. You're going to put your own pictures in. All right, so if you like that one, you can close the preview and then you can click download. Once you click download, that will begin the process of downloading that template to your computer, to your Creative Cloud account, and you won't ever have to download it again. It will stay on your computer. So it will be either in the print category and it'll have the blue check mark on it, letting us know that you downloaded it, letting you know that you downloaded, not us, but letting you know that you downloaded it. And it will be in your recents if you used it recently. All right, so now that I've downloaded it, I can go ahead and open it. And now we'll open up my blank template. And that's what I meant. See, the pictures aren't there, just the layout's there. And the sample text is there. So a heading, sample text like a phone number, email address, physical address, website. So you would just go replace these things with whatever you wanted. Now, sometimes the design will have tips. So in this case, there's a tip that says view alternate layouts in the page panel and select the drop-down menu for the alternate layouts that you want. So what that tells me is that this particular one comes in different sizes. So if I go to the pages panel and I go to my alternate layouts, yep, there's one for letter and there's one for A4 because people might use this template in a different country other than the US. So they don't work in letter. They work in European sizes or international sizes, I should say, like A4, A5, so forth and so on. So that's why this one has alternate layouts. And many of the print ones will have alternate layouts because people print them in different countries. Now, if I come over here and I don't need an alternate layout, I can delete it. I can say, well, I'm never going to use this in A4. I don't need the extra pages. I don't need the extra stuff. Let me delete the alternate layout. It's going to say, are you sure you want to do that? Yes, I'm sure. Just let's keep the letter one because that's the one I use in my country. People that would be using the A4 could delete the letter one. So same thing. You have the same content on both page sizes. So there's page 1, there's page 2, and the content is ready to go. Now the next thing is that there's probably going to be a master page. There's probably going to be paragraph styles and character styles, maybe even graphic styles. It depends on the template. Every template's different and every template will have different things. So if I go to the master page, this one looks blank. Let's go to it. Yep, it's blank. So there's nothing on the master page. That's good because I don't have to think about maybe unlocking something or deleting something from the master page. So really all of this content is live on the actual page. Now, I can't stress this enough. When you're working with a template and you look at something, you say, oh, well, I really don't like that picture where it is, that frame where it is. Gosh, I wish this template had the picture at the top instead of the bottom. This is not the law. This is not, the template police are not going to come after you. This was a starting point. If you want to change anything in the template, change anything in the template. The template is just to get you to start it not having to have a blank page. So I've got my 3-column, 2-sided brochure ready to go. All I have to do is put my content in it. But if there's something I don't like, something I don't need, something I don't want, something I want to change, I can change it. So for example, in this case, maybe I want this picture at the top and not the bottom. Maybe I don't need this page title, so I'm just going to delete that. I'm going to click this and move this up. And when I move this up and off to the side, now it becomes, we'll keep it there. Now it becomes an image at the top instead of the bottom. And maybe I want my phone number, email, and all that stuff at the bottom. This is what I mean by you change it any way you want. Now, if you want to start changing things like, the template police are here, stop that. Well, Eddie, I'm not going to listen to you because you have no jurisdiction over my design using templates. All right, so if I want to come in here and I want to change what this says, maybe I want to say that this is the About Us page, whatever. I can change that to About Us, and now that says About Us. It kept the font, so let's go ahead and bring up the style panels here, paragraph styles. So just as I figured, there's a title heading paragraph style, there's a page title paragraph style, there's a body text paragraph style. So all these templates come set up with style sheets to make it easy not only to format things, but to change your mind if you decide to change your mind. All right. Yeah, Thomas, that would be a future topic. Hello, L.A. Makola from South Africa, and Brianna, hello. And yes, the template police, book them, Dano. All right, so let's keep going. So for example, like I said, this one's obviously using the title heading, and maybe I want to see what they've done for title heading. So I can, let's deselect, let's double click on title heading. And what I can see about this is that it uses the League Gothic font, regular size, 24-point, all caps, and the leading, tracking, and so forth and so on. And maybe I don't like the color, just for a sake of example, of the titles that they have set up for me. So if I find my character color here, I can change it. There it is. Character color, and it's using black, and maybe I do want my titles to be the gray instead. So if I click preview, that will show them to me in gray. Oh, that's not going to work, but that's not going to be gray. That's not going to be a gray background. It's going to be a photo, so that might still work. Or maybe I want my titles to be a different color. Maybe the blue works better. So you can change using the colors that are built into the template, or of course, create your own colors and go from there. So I just made a change to that style sheet, just changing the headlines to light blue. I may not stick with that, but if I did, it's easy to do because they included paragraph style. So I just go change the paragraph style. Now all my headlines are changed to whatever I change in that paragraph style. Now in terms of using photos for all the little placeholders, again, I moved one of the placeholders up, but I could have just as easily deleted it if I don't have a picture to go there. Or maybe I want more than one picture on this. So I can say, oh, you know what? I need one there and I need one in the middle. So I'm holding down my Option or Alt key and duplicating that one. Oh, I don't need it to be quite that big. Let's scale it down. Oh, let's move it to the center. Let's use Smart Guides and move it to the center of that column. so forth and so on. Now, once you get everything kind of laid out the way you want, then you can go in and start putting in your own content. So if I go to my CC libraries, and I probably have more in Adobe Stock, my Adobe Stock library, I can go start grabbing things for this particular image. I was doing a lot of food stuff with Adobe Max, so let's grab some of those images. I can drag and drop an image in there. And I don't know what happened to the image. Let's see, there it is. So we just fit it down, and let's go ahead and grab this one, put this one in here. Same thing, fit it down, and let's put something different in that one. I have no idea what this is going to be for, but I figure it probably shouldn't have animals and food. That might send the wrong signal. So a lot of these just aren't fitting automatically, so the frame is not set up to do that, but no problem. We just click a button and make it happen. All right, let's put her in this one, and we'll fit it down again. There she is. So see, that's what I meant by the heading's not going to necessarily go in a gray background. And here, I don't like the way that looks as far as the way it fits. So let's move it over some so we see more of the spoon, or either left or right, but not where it was. And I need to move it up a little bit. And now at this point, you're just designing whatever content you have to fill those spaces. And of course, when it comes time to put your own text in, you would double click, select, and you would put in your own type to go into the respective frames. Now, I decided that, hey, that's all this is going to say. I don't need all that extra room. I do want this to be bigger, so I can make it bigger. I can make it space out a little bit more in the leading. Maybe not so much, maybe about there. I can make the frame smaller because that's all I need to put there. And I can move it, maybe line it up with the word heading. There we go. Your design. You do whatever you want with it. Oh, I don't like the blue heading anymore. Go back to the paragraph styles, double click on title heading, go back to character color, and change it back to, I forgot what color it was. Change it back to the blue, dark blue. No, it was orange. No, it wasn't orange. It was black. Change it back to black. There you go. This heading should probably say something, so let's change it to We're Cool. I don't know, whatever the name of the company or product or service is. And probably shouldn't be 1-2-17, maybe 1-2-19, New Year. You get the idea. Now at this point, you're just filling in all the blanks. Changing the blanks if you don't like the blanks. If you don't like, if I don't need the title goes here around this photo, then I could say, you know what, I don't need these ones on the side. I don't like them. Let's just delete them. Maybe let's move this one up. There's an overset situation because probably title goes here, those were linked frames, but no problem. Change the subheading. Oh, I don't need page title. Delete. Change it to whatever you want it to be. That's pretty much how templates work in InDesign. You then move on to the next page, rinse and repeat, keep adding the content, changing the content, moving the content around, doing whatever it is you want to do. All right, so with that said, now once you're done, now what? And by the way, can you delete this stuff, the tip? Well, it's not letting me click on it, and since it wasn't on a master page, what that's leading me to believe is that it's on a locked layer. And so, yep, I was right. There is a tips layer that is locked. If I unlock that layer, then I can select the tip and delete it. All right. At this point, once you're finished putting in all the content wherever you want it to go, then you would save it as your new document, my brochure, whatever this brochure would be called. And you would save it wherever you save your brochures. I'm just going to save it to the desktop because we're going to delete it. All right. Then you could export it. You can print it. You can make a PDF of it. You can do whatever you normally do with your brochures when you're done. But that's how templates work. Now, as far as the other kind of template, meaning that you want to design your own template from scratch, not use one of the ones that's available on Adobe Stock, then you would, for example, set up a new document. Let's do that really quick. let's do the wide one. You would put in your placeholders where you want things to go. So I want a heading to go here. Make that nice and big. You would use style sheets to make formatting easier for the person that's going to use your template. You would then go in and put your frames wherever you want them to be. All right, and we want one across the bottom there. So wherever you want stuff to be, you would do it. But then you would save a copy for you to edit. So I'm gonna call this one original. And then once you've saved your original, that's the one you keep. So in case you ever need to go back in this and do anything else. But then when you're done, you want to give a copy to someone, you would do a save as and choose InDesign template. Now, when I save this as the template for others, and I go look at it on the desktop, there we go. Template for others is an INDT file. So that's, well, hang on, no, I pounced over there, but anyway, INDT means template. So my original is an INDD file, which is an InDesign file. An INDT file is a template file. What's the difference? If I close this and then go back and double click on the template, it opens up untitled. So in other words, I don't know why my Zoom does that, but in other words, the document can now be saved without screwing up the template. So that's what an INDT file gives you. So that way you're never saving over the original, you're never saving over the template. And this is how, for years, people have designed templates for other people to use. Saving it as an INDT file, they can double click on it, add stuff to it, save it. It's forcing them to name it something different. And then at that point, they can next month double click on the same template again and get right back to this original format. All right, last but not least. Well, what if I want to do something that I just don't see what I want here? Like, okay, I love these print templates, but I want more. And if I scroll, I'm going to hit the bottom. That's it. Well, you notice that there's a find more templates on Adobe Stock. Meaning that if you go into any one of these categories and you say, well, these are good, but is there more? Like, are there more examples, more things I can choose, more things I can use? The answer is yes. So let's say that I'm looking for, just for the sake of it, brochure. So when I type brochure and click go, that will take me out to the website. It'll take me to Adobe Stock. And it will take me to the templates, and it will take me to it automatically searches for InDesign templates because that's where we initiated the search. Templates, brochure, and you can see there are tons more. Now, the difference is when you go to the web to search, they won't always be free. There are people that are selling templates, or Adobe's selling templates that were designed by professionals, but there are several more examples. So if you say, hey, I don't want to use the template that everyone's getting for free. I want to buy something that's a little bit more like what I need and that everyone won't have. Then that's why you do this. Or you're looking for something that you just didn't see in the free offering. So for example, let's say I wanted one of these. Let's say I like this magazine one. You see that that's a premium template. So that's one I'd have to buy. So all the ones that had this one is just, I can license it. That's a premium one. Some of these will be free, some of these won't be. And that's pretty much the way templates work. All right, so with that said, I think I saw all the questions, but let me just scroll back real quick to make sure I didn't miss anyone's question. Yes, good. You'll be saving well before you populate the document. That's always a good idea. I will always tell people save as you go. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I don't see anything that I haven't answered there. Lots of shout outs, even people from Iraq. Welcome. Good to know. All right, you're welcome, you're welcome. All right, I think I got all the questions here. Let's click over here really quick. That's the wrong window. There we go. All right. Okay. Topic suggestion. Just making sure I got everything here, and looks like I did. All right. And I see the ones that, like, Dwayne's asking for a different topic. Bob says Mac question mark. I don't know what that means. Bob's asking, what's the InDesign? InDesign needs a shortcut key for bold and italic. I thought we had one. Let's check. Yeah, we do. All right. So before I switch over and answer Bob's question, Bob says, hey, we need a keyboard shortcut for bold and italic. Here's what you have to realize first before I give you the keys. You can't make something bold or italic if the font doesn't have a bold or italic. So for example, whatever font this is, this Railway has a bold. But if I were to go pop down the styles, there is no Railway italic. So I can't make a keyboard shortcut do something that the font doesn't do. There is no italic. But to answer your question, if the font has a bold and if the font has an italic, you can double click or highlight whatever you want. Command-Shift-B on Mac or Control-Shift-B on Windows would be bold. There is a keyboard shortcut for it. Italic would be Command-Shift-I. But if I try and make the word U italic, nothing happens because there is no Railway italic. So, yes, there are keyboard shortcuts, but they only work if there's a supported style in the font you're using. If you have a font that has a bold, you have a font that has an italic, Command-Shift-B, Command-Shift-I, Control-Shift-B, Control-Shift-I would work just fine. All right, so like I said, thanks for watching, and happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy InDesign Tuesday, and we will catch you later. Bye, everybody.